gotta get ready for this Greek class. Am I ready for it? Am I up for it? And then I realized all of you guys are probably feeling the same thing, like, what did we get ourselves into? So we're going to go into a passage in the Septuagint out of Deuteronomy. It's a very common passage that most people know. and I picked it because it has words that we have a fighting chance of solving. For this particular passage, here are some helpful words.
Soy.
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 Thou?
Sue.
Sue. Yes, the OU makes an ooh sound.
Simone.
Humon. No.
Yeah, humon. Humon. Who said that? That's right. So long O, and this is a breath mark makes an H sound. So humon.
Hina?
Hina.
Hopos?
Hopos. It's a soft O, short micro O, and a mega O. So hopos. Mm-hmm.
Hati.
Hati. Uh-huh. Here are two that look very similar, and that's why I put them together.
Outa.
Outa.
Ata.
Pata.
Tata. Ata, tata. And notice they have the same ending. And when it's got a T in front of it, that it's kind of a clue that run to your these, that, those tables. And this tata means these. It's a plural case. Ata is also plural, but it's a what's the word for it? It's a neuter. It's neither feminine or masculine. It's talking about things, items. Now, we don't know what the items are. So when we translate ata, we'll just say the items. And the context will tell us what those items are. It's just like some of our nouns when we say hagios, which means
Holy.
holy. We don't know what's holy. A house, a person, a book. And so you have to say holy and then put in parentheses the word one, holy one, hagios, holy one. How about, let's see, someone do this one.
Has.
Has.
Hasa.
Has and hasa. Uh-huh.
Mata.
Mata. Now, this is not a word. This is a suffix, and I'll talk about these suffixes later. But mata,
Menos.
menos, not a long O, more of an ah sound. Menos. Amai. Yeah. So these suffixes, you'll see two of them in our passage tonight. Mata tells you it's a plural for a noun. Menos is kind of like our English of an ing. So I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm eating. Ing. It's kind of like the ing ending in English if you see the word menos at the end of a verb. Going back to the top, we drilled into our minds during the summer that any oi ending was plural, masculine plural. Except this is an exception to the exception, right? So soy is a singular for you. It is not a plural. When we see our OUs in the text, please translate them in the wooden form. Don't try to fully translate them into English yet. Use the wooden form. So it's going to be of you. Now, you'll probably translate it as your, but if you see an OU, it's going to be of. So of something, especially if you get a long string with adjectives and the noun and everything involved there, and they all have OU endings, put the word of in front of each of those. That's the wooden approach. It's very stilted. It's awkward. It feels like it's stiff. And then once you see it laid out, then you can go ahead and then clean it up later and use the word your. So both of these words, su and humon, translate as your, but one is singular and the other one is plural. So it's handy to say of you all, so that when you're looking at your sentence, you should be looking around and go, who are them? There's two or more of something out here. You know, who are they talking about? This one, Sue, is clearly one person. So you don't, you know, you're only looking for a single individual. These three, Hina, Hapos, and Hati, if you translated all three of them as in order that, or such that, or because, that'll work. This is the book I recommended buying, the book-by-book guide to the Septuagint vocabulary. And when you first get it, you go, well, how's it laid out? It turns out it's laid out by book, which is what the title says. And I said, oh, I get that. So here are all the words that are word lists that are in Deuteronomy. And I figured it would be chapter 1, chapter 2, etc. No, it's list 1. And these are all the words that occur between 19 and 49 times in the book of Deuteronomy. Someone had a lot of time on their hands when they made this list. But it tells me that if I'm going to read the book of Deuteronomy, these are the words that I should start practicing. This is the one list I should pay attention to and work on the repetition. For this would be my one go-to word list, is this first set of 15. They come in sets of 15 words. And if I can get these 15 words down, then I know I'm going to be running into them between 19 and 49 times when I read the book of Deuteronomy. List 2, these are words that occur only between 14 and 19 times. What I would recommend is you take a yellow highlighter and just highlight the words you already know.
For me, I would use the kind of highlighter you use on sewing that fades with time.
So force you to go back and learn it again. Yeah. The Septuagint is a Greek translation of the Hebrew. It does not match the Hebrew exactly. For tonight, we will find that in Deuteronomy chapter 6, there is an added line. It's a truthful line, but it's still an added line that you won't find in your Hebrew text. There are two versions of the Septuagint that predate Jesus, and we have copies of those books, and they're titled by where they were found. So Alexandria, of course, Vaticanus, it was found in the Vatican. The Vatican historically has been what do you call pack rats. They save everything, you know. Oh, it looks important. I think I'll keep it, you know. It's like, so if you can't find it somewhere on the planet, it's probably sitting in a dusty shelf somewhere in the Vatican, and that's what happened here. So Vaticanus is the oldest copy we have of the Greek Septuagint. So if you're dealing with Greek, you don't want to translate into another language through a secondary language. You don't want to translate, for instance, into Latin from Greek. You want to go to the source language, and that's what Jerome did. He started with, he went back to the Hebrew and then created the Latin Vulgate, direct translation from Hebrew to Latin rather than Hebrew to Greek to Latin.
Hey, Harry, I have a question.
Yes.
Does anybody study the Vulgate like we study the Septuagint?
I don't know Latin. I'm sure there's a large community, especially in the Catholic Church. I have to believe that there are people who are very well versed with reading it in the original Latin.
My Catholic friends do. Yeah. If you can find a priest, then
Mm.
I have a book for you.
There it is. There you go.
But it has really small type.
Hold it up so you can see the
Oh.
title again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
the-
small. Yeah, the
I
Bible.
saw it.
Bible Sacred Vulgata. And Vulgate just means common people.
My son gave me that for Christmas. So
Hold it up
You've
closer.
you've given me an idea to give to my dad, who had to learn Latin in high school.
All right.
Yeah.
And
And
Hi. Yeah. Yep.
something with hearing,
Well, I didn't-
listening.
Yes. So here, the root is a ku-o. So, and then you've got a suffix. Now, you might not know what that suffix is, but you know that the root is going to be here. So, very good.
is
You
that
guys move too fast for me.
I'm sorry, what's that?
I
Oh,
was trying to do it right now because I haven't done it yet.
okay. So, and here, as in hearing, H-E-A-R.
Yeah, I knew no acoust, but or a cone, but my memory's pretty poor with what that actually means.
Oh, okay.
I can sound it out, but I don't know what it means.
Like,
The next one's easy.
yeah, think about acoustic modern
Mhm.
English. And then you go, has something to do with sound.
Yep.
yeah,
Israel?
Israel.
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 Yeah.
Yep, Israel. By the way, this is not the Shema. This is not the Hear, O Israel. That comes on the next page. So this is and hear Israel and something.
Oh,
This one I think is a dictionary word.
Oh,
Who can pronounce it? Who can pronounce it, please?
Philoxon?
Very good. Philoxen.
But I don't know what it means.
Yeah, it's going to be a dictionary word. I'm pretty sure. Okay. So there's a syllable break right here because this is a diphthong, oi, and then this is another diphthong, ein. So you would have so it's poi ein. If you try to pronounce it any other way, your tongue will get wrapped around itself. Poi ein.
What does it mean? I don't know what that means.
Anyone else come up with it?
I think of, that's Latin. Erythropoiesis is generating blood cells.
Ah,
oh,
nope. But there might be.
Good try.
There is a link, Amara. There is a link there, but that's not the word. Yes.
Oh,
When you get to it, you'll go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. But it has nothing to do with blood cells here.
Apos,
This is a word you learned
Oh.
tonight.
because
Because in order that, such that, yep, in order that.
in
Good.
yeah.
Is that
Good.
good?
Yes,
oh good.
because this is an upsilon. Yeah, it's not a new, so it's EU, not EN. So
Oh,
U as in eulogy.
Eukaryote.
Soy
Good.
because good.
you,
You,
Person?
singular. You, singular. Yeah, you. Mhm.
is it the?
I would have thought so, except the little curlicue here, the little accent is going the wrong direction.
Uh-oh.
Like a blob to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got a circumflex, and then it's got a quiet accent mark. So it's not a harsh breath. So it's not he, which would be a feminine the. It's simply
E.
e, e,
E.
Yeah.
which means, anyone know?
No.
Okay,
Then,
say again. Oh,
then.
here. And, yep.
Oh, another N.
Ina.
Ina.
Hina, this is one you learned tonight.
No, I didn't.
Such that. Very good.
Mm, mm.
Or because, or in order that, but yes, such that. This one I know for sure is a dictionary word. I'd be surprised if anyone knew that off the top of their head.
Wait.
Who would like to try to pronounce it?
Please
Mm.
on it.
Place on
Upper up.
That,
Yeah, you were right that there's a syllable break right there. So plea. How about this
Okay.
syllable right?
Oh,
Those
so
two. Thun. And then this ending.
Wait.
Theta?
Theta. Theta. Yeah. Plea, thun, theta. So there's the syllable breaks here and the syllable breaks right there. Okay. Someone pronounce this word.
Sodra.
Sodra.
Sodora.
Sodra.
The spa.
Yeah. Sodra.
Sodra.
This is a tough one for me to pronounce
Yeah.
because it's an SPH.
Kathaper.
Kathaper. Right.
Elalace.
Let's say.
Ela-
And Alice.
Lise. Yeah. Long E sound. Lise. Anyone have a stab with that one? What would be this leading epsilon tell you?
Past.
Past tense.
Okay.
Good.
And what you may not remember, but we talked about reduplication of verbs. Here's a reduplication, male se. So it's definitely something is started in the past and it's continuing. That's what the reduplication is going on. So
Elalace.
you'll have to use a dictionary to look this one up unless you know it. How about this one?
Korea.
Christ.
Kurios, which means
Lord.
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 The.
Ho.
The.
Oh,
Ho.
God.
Yeah.
God.
Ton.
The.
It is
The.
the. Very good. Do you know what kind of the?
No.
Of
Of the.
Singular.
Say again, Evelyn?
No, it's not of the. That'd
Okay.
be,
Two.
I said singular.
It won't be singular. I'm pretty sure it's not.
Oh, it's not. It's plural then.
Genitive.
It's plural. Yeah.
The other one.
Father.
Father. Very good.
Under.
Of you.
Of you. Mhm.
Oh, of you.
OU is of. And so this is Sue, like soy
Of.
is you. This is
Oh,
Sue
yeah.
of you.
Duvet.
Nine.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think this is a dictionary word. Unless you,
Dave?
say again.
Gave. Gift giving.
Very good. Yeah, so that would be like donative or donative. Yeah, yeah,
It says
Gift.
gift.
it would be a gift, right? Oh, super! We got people on the spot here.
I knew one thing.
You.
Yep, singular, not plural. This is the exception to the rule.
Gen.
Gain. Gain.
Gain.
Gain?
Like generate.
No, that would be an
Oh,
then it'd be a different vowel. This one is more like geos.
Land.
Land, like geology.
Oh,
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So this is land.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
land. The hard part is it's got this news sitting here going, what in the world?
game. Yeah, yeah.
Now here you got a breath mark with an R, so this makes a reh. It makes an RH sound rather than an HR sound. Go ahead and pronounce it.
Ryu-san?
Reusan. Very good. Dictionary word. How about this word right here?
Gala.
Gala.
Gala. Dictionary word here. Okay, this is and. How about this word right here?
Melly.
Melee. Right. Another
Melee.
dictionary word. When you see the period that's raised, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Means ask Harry.
Yeah, that's scary. I like
means
that.
it means it's a colon.
Ah,
So
Oh.
it's at the end of a phrase, and what follows is still part of the same sentence. It's
looks like
not a
spelled
period.
the
So a comma is a real comma. Do I have any periods in here? No, this not in this. This is one real long run-on sentence. This is a colon. Kai, how about this word?
Tauta.
Tauta, that means these.
These.
Hmm. The
Right, right. Usually it's a neuter. It's neither masculine or feminine. It's the.
I know.
Daikai omata.
Right. So the syllable breaks right here. Mata tells you what?
plural.
Plural. So whatever this is, oh, pardon me. Yeah, whatever this is plural. Right. Mm-hmm.
And
And the.
the
Here's another mata with the syllable break right here. So
Somebody got cremated?
three.
I know what the word is. It's like, yeah, that's possibility, but that's not what the word means.
From Crimea.
It comes from crime or crime. Anyone remember what cry is? That root? Judge. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You saw it in words like crisis, KRISIS, crisis. So it's what happens after a judgment. You get a verdict, and so the person who's in being so judged has a crisis, and so krim, yeah.
Oh.
This accent you can ignore. It's this little guy right here, which gives you the rough breath mark.
Osa.
Hossa. So it's a word you learned tonight.
That's what you think.
That wasn't me.
That was a short-term memory.
There you go. That or who. Okay. This is a dictionary word. I'm going to skip it.
Curious.
Curios.
Curios, Lord. Curios. Oh.
Toys.
Toys.
I don't remember what toys means, but
Like of
Isn't
the
that a the?
It's
It's
the
some kind of the.
plural.
Maybe.
plural. So hoi is the singular. Toys is plural.
Uyois?
We ois. And what's a weos? You remember? Weos?
Sun.
Sun. So
Sun.
this is the plural, sons plural, the sons.
Israel.
Israel.
And
In,
In.
In,
Yeah, so this one is U for good, and this is N for,
yeah.
and what does N mean? What is the preposition when you see
in,
In,
in? Yes, inside.
in.
Another the.
The,
The,
there.
this is a dictionary word, but yes, thank you for pronouncing it.
Arama.
Remo.
Erimo. Erimo.
X
Eh,
L
re,
O.
mo, mo.
But that's
The-
that Eta, right? Which if you pronounce it Eta rather than Eta, then you'd call that one Ere.
Eremo. Yeah, Eremo.
Okay.
How about someone pronouncing this one?
Echelthon.
Okay. Now the toe N at the end tells you what kind of word is it?
Noun.
It's a noun. And how about the EX in front there? So something is out and you know it's a noun. Okay. Exelthonton. The syllable break is there and there. So TON is the same as this TON over here. It's a noun. So here's the answer key. So, and here, Israel, you're correct. And here's a dictionary word, phulaxon. We've seen it elsewhere. Phula is guard. So this is some sort of guarding. You mentioned poiesis is making blood cells. It does. It has the word make to it. It has nothing to do with blood cells, though. Do or make. Hopos, in order that you is supposed to be good. Soy is you. Now this word, which is simply Eta by itself, E, translates as or, but I have no clue how this fits into the sentence. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'm just throwing up my hands on that one. Kai is an, Hina in order that. This long word has the word is a dictionary word for increase.
Oh, like a plethora?
Yes. Oh, yes, Mara. That was you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, plethora.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm impressed. Saphodra is very much. So in order that you can increase very much. Kathaper, just as or like. This is a past tense for the word said. So just like the Lord said, just like the Lord your God said, of many fathers of you. So he says, of your many fathers, of your fathers is how you translate it, but of many fathers of you given. And you're going, given what? He's given you dirt or land.
Land of milk and honey.
Flowing with gala,
I
flow
would
with
never-
milk, and then mali is the word for honey. And these, and dikaio is the word for requirement. And so plural, it's requirements. Kai and then crima and crisis are closely related. It's verdicts, plural.
Mm-hmm.
So all the requirements and the verdicts or judgments, you could say, whom, and this word is a dictionary word that wraps around here, telato, and telato is commanded, the Lord to the many, two sons, Israel. So you're going to stick the word in here, the word of, even though you don't see the word of in there. It's to the many sons of Israel, or to the many Israelite sons. In the, and then Arimo is the word for desert or waste.
Oh,
So God is giving these requirements and verdicts that he commanded to the sons of Israel that were out in the desert. This word, elthon, is the word that we've learned to mean came or come. So of many outcome ones, as the best I could make it in a wooden form, but it gets translated as delivered or delivered out of the desert. Thai is the word for deliver. If you put this into a modern Google Translate, it comes out of the word of the past. And that's in keeping with the tone of the sentence as well. So this one's a tricky one for me to translate. The Hebrew ends right there with that comma. And the Septuagint added the phrase, whom the Lord commanded the many sons of Israel in the desert. It's like, yeah, okay, that's truthful, but it's not in the Masoretic Hebrew. The verse 3 ends right there at that comma.
Where it says Theos in the middle line. So it's not God the Father, it's the God of your fathers.
God of the many fathers of you given. So in other words, it's saying the Lord your God gave your fathers land that was flowing with milk and honey.
Okay, yeah.
Aton.
Yes.
No?
Self, that'll work.
Out of.
Out, right?
In.
Oh,
We
Is
just
that
did that one.
geo?
We
Is that
just-
like earth? Is that
This
earth?
Land.
yeah, this one has now a sigma on the end instead of a new, but it still means land, right? Now, Jim was, I think it's Jim. Did I get you right? Yeah, Tony, pardon me. Tony, is this the word that you pronounced and got?
Egypt?
No, it wasn't.
Okay, but it is. Who said Egypt?
Me?
Very good. Yeah, Egypt.
And I got it. I got it.
Okay. Yeah, the U upsilon gets
Land of Egypt.
in English becomes a Y. So Egypt to Egypt, right? Yeah. And OU tells you it's
Oh,
It's plural. No.
no.
genitive. Out of the land.
Of Egypt.
Of.
So it's land of Egypt.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
Of
Like
Egypt.
X?
There you go. Out land
Yeah.
of Egypt. And there's your period. That finally got an end of the sentence.
Not even say.
Woo!
So
Oh, here's the Shema.
here's the Shema.
Here.
Hear,
Oh, Israel.
Israel,
Lord and God.
Lord,
Lord,
the God.
Lord, the God.
It's under. Oh,
No,
no, it's the wrong word. Sorry.
sound it
You
out.
all? You all? Is that
He-
you all?
Yes, but sound it out.
Human?
Himon, Himon,
Human?
Human, Himon. Yeah, it's a long O. Yeah, you all.
Lord.
Kurios, Lord.
Nice. In.
Is. In.
Now, what's tricky is look at this breath mark. This the circumflex, ignore
Yeah, I
the
see it.
circumflex, but the breath mark, that's a harsh breath mark. So this is not the preposition of ice, which means into. This is heis.
Heis.
So that breath mark makes it mean something different?
Yes, it does.
Oh dear, I'm in trouble.
It's HEIS, not EIS. Okay. How about this one?
ST.
ST.
Este.
This.
Just like Spanish, a star,
This is T.
To be.
to be or exists, right? So I'll give away, I'll go back to this one. Heis is is counting, so it's one. Duo, two.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
Lord one exists, or Lord one is, period, end of sentence. And
Mhm.
Uh, oh, that's love?
that's love.
Agape.
Agapesis. Yes.
Agape pieces.
I
To pieces.
Yeah. And love. And since we
Lord.
know what the phrase is, it's probably some form of command and love.
Oh, love
And
Lord.
command.
What's the last part of love there? That the sice, does that change something about love?
It just changes. It's a suffix about love. It's going to affect it. It could be this is where you need a dictionary or a grammar course that tells you exactly what's going on with this verb. And I have to believe, simply because I know what this passage is saying, that it's some sort of it's more of a command, commanding us to love.
Okay.
Curios.
Now, what's that letter there?
Kurion.
Kurion. So
Curios.
Kurios, which is right up here, it tells you it's the subject, it's the actor. But Kurion tells you it's the object, it's the one that's being acted on.
It's a
It's
accusative.
it's who we are loving. So and love, Lord.
On.
The accusative.
God.
Theon.
All of these on. This is a phrase, and it tells you it's all accusative. They'll all run together.
Mhm.
Of you.
Under.
No,
X.
Out.
Hex.
this is out. Yeah. Under.
Oh.
What's the Greek word for under? Anyone can help Bob there?
Under.
I, Udo.
Hupo.
Hupo.
Oh,
Hupo. Yeah. There we go.
So what was Sue, or do we know?
Sue is of you.
Oh, of you. Sorry. Slow one here.
It's all right.
Holis. Holis.
Holis. It's almost like the English word.
Holy.
Whole.
Go ahead.
whole.
Whole. Yes. WHOLE. Whole. The. Okay. This one I think is a dictionary word.
It's got the dia.
It's got a dia, which has dia is a preposition for. What's it mean?
Through.
Through. Right.
Through.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not going to run in. I'm calling it a dictionary word, but I'm glad. Credit for finding dia.
Soy.
Soup.
Oh, Sue.
Through
You.
means of you.
Of you. Yeah. Kai is out.
Kai.
And
X is out.
out.
Hole is whole.
Whole.
Same
Whole
as
and
this.
whole.
And this one you should know.
Here.
Suki.
Soup.
Your
Soup.
soul.
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 Suke.
Suke.
Suke, which we get to psychology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that's soul.
Yes. Su of you, Kai, and X out. Ole is whole. How about this word?
Oh, dynamo.
Power.
Power, ability. Yep. So
Dynamite.
not quite explosive, but more of enabling power. Yeah. Do na me os. Okay.
Umami.
Of you, period.
Of you.
And
How?
To be,
estai,
exist,
exists. Yep.
exist.
Yeah, it's the same as this st up here. Exist or is the. Here's a mata, which tells you it's plural. How would you pronounce this one?
Pneumata. It's wind or spirit, right?
No, this is
No, it's
this letter is not a P.
Ray,
Oh, it's an
just
R.
row, Ray,
So it's
Ray Mata.
Ray
Mata.
Mata. Yeah.
Mata.
Some of you might know this. This is Rema, R-H-E-M.
Rainment.
No, not Raymond, Rema.
Flow?
It'll be kind of a stretch. Okay, we'll call it a dictionary word. But when you got a rough breathing mark over an R, it turns out as RH rather than HR. Tata? These.
Hosa.
Hosa means who or that.
Hmm.
Oh,
Somehow or another, I missed it when we were going through our chart. I apologize. Hosa, who or that.
Steve?
Ego.
That's a gamma. So ego, which means
I.
Myself,
I
I.
am.
I.
Just plain old I.
Oh, I, sorry.
And me means I
Yes,
am.
I.
Yeah, just plain old I.
And telomai?
Yeah.
My.
Yep.
And telomai.
And here's the syllable break right here. So the amai tells you it's a verb. And you're going to have to see it all in context to find out who's doing what to whom. But it's a clue that you got a verb. Soy?
You.
You.
Cimarron.
Cimarron. Yeah.
Cimarron.
Yeah, not the Cimarron Trail, but yes, Cimarron. Cimarron. So the ON tells you what kind of word is it?
It's a noun.
It's a noun.
Down.
Okay. E
in,
N
In. The.
Cardia.
Cardia.
Art.
Heart.
heart. Very good. Auton, auto has the word of self, but this particular one, own, is plural, so it comes off as there. You would need the personal pronoun table to figure this one out. Ek, out, dirt, gi, of Egypt. So out of the land of Egypt,
Egypt.
period. So we usually say, "Hear, O Israel," but here in the Greek, it just simply says, "Hear, Israel." It's more of a command. Hear, Israel. And it doesn't say the Lord your God, it's the God Lord. So remember when we were doing John chapter 1:1, here's two nominatives in a row, os and os. And there's a ho in front. So which is the word that starts first? It's the one that's got the ho in it. So it'd be the God Lord of you all. So the God Lord of you all, Lord, only one exists. So heis is kind of, it gets the sense of not only is it one, but it's only one.
Hey, Harry,
Yes, sir.
in that specific statement, is that the same as when people say the Lord is one, or is it more like there is only one God?
Good question. I was expecting a mono here, meaning it's only one, alone, God alone, but they used heis instead. So uh, uh, and heis carries with it the implication of only. So it's like there's only one exists, but what was the other translation you used, Tony? Say it again, please.
The Lord is one.
The Lord is one. That would work.
Ours said something like the Lord, your God, the Lord alone.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah, the ST exists. So I was looking for words that would be in keeping with what you just said, but it is indeed one and the word for exist, or only one is,
One is,
or
yeah.
or Lord is one. Ways of you can look at it that way. But os tells you that's definitely the subject, and there's no object. He's not acting on anything. So it just is like God is. It's like, okay. And love, this was indeed love, Lord, the God of you, out whole of the, now dionyos is a mind or understanding. If you put it in Google, it comes out as intellect. So out of your whole thinking ability, and out of the whole of your soul, and out of the whole of your ability or power.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you get this long sentence, and the only verb is right here, love.
Mm.
So these are all phrases as to how we should love, Finally, you get a period sign. And exists the many. Hrema is the word for word. It's the spoken word, as opposed to grammata, which is a written word, or graphos, which is written. Rema is the spoken word. So, well, exists the many words these, that I, and this is the word for command. So now we know that I, ego, is the actor, and soy is who he's acting on. So he says, I'm commanding you. Semeron is the word for today. Semeron, today. So it exists the many words these, that I command you today, into the heart. Now it doesn't say your heart; it just says into the heart. So it's curious, just a little awkward. If you were going from the Hebrew, you would probably get a different cadence of you. So it's in your heart and into the soul of you. So in your soul. So it's going to be in your heart and in your soul. These commands, I'm impressing them on you, on your heart and soul. And I want you to, and this word has different meanings. Pro, of course, means in front of. This word kind of carries the word persuade. The lexicon that I had trouble finding this word. Pat's lexicon had the word for teach. And if I threw this into Google, it came out as promote or promotions. So teach, persuade, or promote these, the items. Which items? Well, the items that he's commanded. So you got to go back a sentence. The items, the many sons of you. So persuade all your sons. And LXX, this is the same reduplicative word. So la is a duplicate of this. And so it's the word of speaking, and speak in them. And you'll need to put probably the word while in here. It's, while you're sitting, but it just says, so persuade your sons and speak in them. You can put the word while. Sitting, menos has got ing, kathemenos, sitting modern, it gets translated as seated. So while you're seated in your house and travel or journaling, the modern Google has it as marching. Menos there is ing, so it's an action type of. So while you're sitting or while you're traveling, and hodo is where we get the word exodus. Odos is way, exodus is out way. So this is, I'm exiting from Egypt is exodus. Hodo, way. And bedding or sleeping, I had to laugh. Google says, looking at each other. So while you're sitting or marching around or even just looking at each other, be talking about these things, persuading your sons. And of course, sons here includes sons and daughters, but it's the Greek word is sons. So while you're seated or you're marching or you're looking at each other or you're bedded down or you're sleeping.
Lying down.
Lying down. And this word I could not find in my dictionaries. I couldn't find it in the lexicon. I had to look at a interlinear, and I'm not even convinced that the interlinear found it in a dictionary. They just probably knew that it meant rise. But so dia means through. Nistramenos is ing, so through rising. So sitting, traveling, sleeping, or rising. I got this long sentence. What is the verb? The verb is way back here, and I'm persuading.
Whatever you're doing, persuade.
Persuade, yeah. And it's just like the previous sentence that we talked about, just long sentence. And then, well, what's the verb? Well, the verb was way at the front, called love. Down here, and this is not found in my dictionary. I did find it in the lexicon, though, that Pat gave me, affapto, which is a verb. Pardon me, which is a it's a verb. I fasten, and aphapsis is another version. I struggled with this one and finally found it in the lexicon under this word right here, this verb, affapto. So I'm going to fasten the items, ata, into a sign. Now, let's go back one. Here we had simeron, which means today. Look how close this one is. Simeon. One means today, and the other one means a sign. And so it's going to be real easy. You look at that word. I thought originally it meant sign, but simeron is a noun. It's today. This is also a noun, on, and sime, it means sign. So close together. So fasten the items into sign. Epi, of course, sitting on top of the lion. On of the, and keteros is the word for hand.
Is that
go ahead?
Is that a phrase that I don't quite understand what they mean into sign upon the hand? Is that like a phrase that we're missing, or like? Well,
it's in modern English it says bind it upon your hand. No, tie it upon your hand and bind it on your forehead is modern English. So this one is fasten these items upon your hand.
Okay.
I am curious. So this has an os ending. I would have expected to be an ida right there. So this is a little confusing to me. So fasten the item. What items are they talking about? At this point, it's got to be the commands way back here, right here. It's these things that I've commanded you to be in your heart, these many words. So when the Jewish people saw this and they're saying, I'm going to fasten your words on my hand, how am I going to do that? They actually made a little box. It's called a phylactery, and they bind it literally on the back of their hands. And inside the box is this verse, the Shema, and it's handwritten in ink. It can't be typed, and they're quite literally binding these words on the back of their hand, and then they'll do the same with a phylactery box that they'll put right on the forehead and tie it around their head. And in that box is this verse and two others. Of you, and estai is, I want to say is or exists. This one's a tough one. This word here is unshakable. So put it not only on your hand, karos su, your hand, and set an unshakable thing in front of your eyes of you. So before your eyes. Pro, in front of. Ophthalmon, many eyes. On is of many, of you. So in front of many eyes of you. And we can translate that as before your eyes. So put this box or something between your eyes or in front of your eyes. I think the Lord wanted us to say, keep these commands in front of you visually. Like, is it his words that are unshakable? Is it his commandment that's unshakable? I tend to think
like bind it securely or something.
Oh yeah.
Bind it firmly.
Yes, set it firmly in front of you so that whatever you've written it on is not movable. Yeah. And Kai, graffiti is right. The items, so these are what items, these commands, these many words, upon the filius, flius means doorpost, not in my dictionaries, not in the lexicon. The lexicon noted that the word lintel was used the same word, but in my dictionary, lintel is huperthura, which means over door. That makes sense. It's a lintel. This flias, I can't prove it, but it gets translated as doorpost. Ton okon humon, of many houses, of you all, and you can translate it as of your homes. When you get these long phrases, is go ahead and just be as wooden and awkward as you can so that you get a literal wording and then translate it into better English. And that's what I did here in green. Kai and tone of the polon is the word for gates or doors. And then humon of you all. So I'm going to post these many words on my doorpost and on my gates.